Hello, everybody. How's it going? Oh my gosh, that was a stressful start
It
for the new
was.
year. Golly, I thought we had it.
It
I
was.
thought we had it.
Well, look at it. We're here. We did it.
We are here.
We
are
made
here.
it.
Let me give a little
Look at the
tabuite right there.
tabuite. Have you had any? Is it hot?
It's perfect.
Ooh, okay.
Hello, everybody. How is it going?
Me? Not me.
You, everybody out there. Thank you for everybody coming out.
Yes, thank you.
It feels good. So if you guys are watching, you can see that we are probably on the Red Play app and
The Rainbowish app, the Sunset app,
yeah,
the one that used to be all about pictures.
there's Princess and Scoundrel everywhere live right now.
Let's see. Yeah, and how does this work? Because we've never done this before. Where we oh no, did we slurp or gulp?
Sorry.
I apologize. We've never done this before where we've streamed both on Insta and YouTube at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is new to us. I'm assuming how we look over here is
This is how it looks on Insta. This is how it looks on.
interesting. But can we? Oh, we can see the comments over here. Okay, cool. So we can see comments from both places coming in. This is trippy.
Yeah.
This is really trippy. Oh man, somebody's watching on both. Yeah, if you're watching on.
Thank you, Carrie. That makes me feel so good. We've been kind of like teasing it along the way, but this has been like a labor of love. The whole month of December, we revamped the whole room and made it just like this entire set, three sets maybe. I don't know, like just a bunch of space.
The possibilities are endless in here.
Yeah.
So
So much room for activities.
so much room for activities. BB-8 finally has a place.
Yeah.
I don't think BB-8's ever actually been on our channel before. This is
Like a main focal point.
right. This is one of many BB-8s that we have actually, but he's always been like just off to the side of the set.
Just like sneaking in.
But do you recall, like, when we first started planning the podcast and we were trying to figure out, like, what did we want? We didn't have a set. So we were just using the room as it was. And we brought a table up here and we put BB-8 in the background. Well, I think BB-8 lived in the background anyway. And we just, like, put a table in the center of the room. So now finally, he's here.
Yeah. Like,
He or she. We don't know the gender. And
Yeah,
this actually
no, I
came
think
up
it
the
was-
other day.
No, yeah, so we were talking about that.
Yeah.
At the beginning, they refer to as he, but I think later on they just kind of, because it's a droid, that is just a they.
It's a droid.
So it's just a droid.
But the interesting part, and the reason that we were talking about it the other day, is I was wearing a Spirit jersey that had it was the Women of the Galaxy line from Disney, and it has Hera and Ahsoka and Leia and Padme and Rey, and then it had BB-8. And I was like, well, wait a second. You were the one that called it
Yeah.
out. So that got us started on the whole thing. But I'm very happy that BB-8 has a place to live on the set, because poor thing has just always been off to the side. Always been there, staring the camera down.
But kind
turn
of
its
on
head.
that set, if you've noticed, I'm pretty sure you have, but like our podcast is kind of the more, let's have this more formal conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The live set, and this was very, very intentional. We wanted the cozy. We wanted kind of sublight feels.
We did.
wanted just like this area to be a complete chill time. So this is like our time to be able to chill with you guys. And so, get cozy, and we could, just
a little cozy up. We should have worn PJs. I feel overdressed now. I was like, how do we dress in here? Because it is really nice. Like, it's a very nice loungy type set. Do we dress like we're going to the Sublight Lounge? I almost did. I almost was like, you know what? I'm going to show up and wear a Star Cruiser outfit. And you're going to be like, what are you doing?
completely overdressed.
Completely.
But see, the cool thing is like, and this is where I was so excited, is if you're watching both, you could see that when we go to Sarah,
Okay.
you know, you could, if you have something very like deep
Insightful to say.
yeah, very insightful.
I always have something insightful to say.
Both services can see just
Oh, there's a little bit of a delay on like our side.
you. Yeah.
But that is cool. That's really neat.
So then if it's just me,
Feels like a fireside chat meets smoking jackets and glasses of Cavassier. Like ladies, man. I mean, we could do that too. We could do some Jimmy jams and just hang out. So we
Yeah.
said our Narkina jammies.
yeah.
Our
Except those would be like real.
Yeah, they would be really loud. Yeah, and you can you see a little sneak of the helmets
Oh yeah.
off behind you.
Yeah, that's a entire wall of helmets now. So
It's not an entire wall.
it's getting
It's
there
a-
'cause there's a lot still on the floor.
It will be a wall very soon. Somebody asked what we were drinking. It is coffee with Kahlua in it.
A little something.
Just a little Kahlua. We stayed up late last night, and I think we were like, oh, we should probably have another cup of coffee. Oh, the halcyon armor. So yeah, I guess let's do a tour,
Yeah.
right? So we'll start all the way over on my end. So these are what this is Steven's costumes that he has made they're all for Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of these are Star Cruiser. So his Star Cruiser Mandalorian armor that you made, your Star Cruiser tribute jacket. I think this was like your original one
of my
that you
first
made, your first one that you made, the orange, and then a red one and a blue one that was the vest and the jacket combo. But we wanted to add that to the set to show it off, just because they're amazing.
Yeah.
Like you did a great job on them, and so we wanted the space to feel loungy and feel the vibes, but also showcase some of the stuff that we love and that we are passionate about. And I think one of your big passions has been to make costumes and to create. I don't know if you can see them all the way. Can you see behind me? There you go. The Sarah cam. It's trippy that YouTube and Insta are slightly out of sync. It's trippy on our side too,
Yeah.
because it's like
Because we're monitoring it.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can't see it. But yeah, so we've got these are kind of just like your top ones, I think. There's plenty more costumes
Yeah.
in this house.
I think those
but
are the ones that I specifically made. Like,
yeah, you made all
jacket
of
and
these
everything, yeah.
from scratch. Even the vest for the Mando armor. But I don't know if you guys have watched our last episode, but the entire wall is French cleats. There's lots of noises going on. But everything on here is just like cleated on in a really cool way. So we just picked up like a little coat rack and hung those off of there. And then we had, his name is Brian, but he goes by Stormtrooper Guy on Instagram, and he made one of the dedication placards and sent it to us for Star Cruiser. So you made these like really cool hooks to hang that. I just feel like this is just going to be like my arms just up and
Move
about
around.
the entire time, because you can see a little bit of it on Instagram, like some of the art that we have like up above my head. But that's been the biggest struggle to me, honestly. I think once we landed on how to design this was how do we
yeah, because we have
furnish it.
We have a lot of other like artwork that we've like thought about putting up, and it's just like, how do we fit everything where it's not just artwork? There's part, like on our other set we have the Halcyon, like the big model ship, and so it's like trying to figure out how do we fit it where it has that nice blend of things, but we do have that flexibility. So I think that's the cool thing about it.
Are they Italian cleats?
Oh,
I
man.
wouldn't know the
Yeah,
difference.
that was a big mishap. But I do want to point out that Raimi from Dad Batch, guys, you have to
Oh my
at
gosh.
least, if you have a 3D printer, you have to try to print these things because they are absolutely gorgeous. And
Yeah.
it's the Ogus Cantina lights. They were so easy to print. Like the files, it's a great file. Now I would say print it at, so this is 100%, which is huge. Print it at 80%, maybe 90%, because this is 75, and I think that's probably as small as you could go for the light fixture that goes in it.
Yeah.
but yeah, like that was like the cherry on top. Like finding that and printing it out, it was just perfect. So
Yeah, you did a really good job with that. I didn't realize that there were like cool lights like this in Oga's, and I had seen Raimi post about it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He has this thing called Free File Friday, and it was months ago. But I was like, oh, that's cool, and just kind of like kept it in the back of my mind. And then I think you were the one that was like, let's do this for the set. We need to have these.
Yes, it is, Julie. It's like super, super comfortable.
Yeah, and they just actually, Roosevelt's just dropped a new batch of the Star Wars hoodies today.
Yeah.
They're like
the helmets, like the
Ahsoka Snips print.
yeah, and then there's like the X-wing instrument panels or something like that, isn't it? I think it's something like that.
Or maybe it's like I don't know what it is. It looks good, but yeah, there's a handful of them. I think they just dropped today. Anonymous person is leaving for Orlando 1 week from tomorrow for Mosh. That's exciting. You're gonna be there a while.
Oh, here we got Bourbon over here on Insta. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, look, yeah, the delay over here is.
Here, look. We'll do
look, Justin's in here too.
So
Shows
we're
a
gonna do
close
my
up.
side now. I had to show my flavor, and this is a Gorillas poster. I love the Gorillas. We talk about Star Wars all the time, but I love the Gorillas, and I actually got to see them in concert when they came to town. So it's
Look at the date on that, 2010.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
But they've only done, I think, like 2 U.S. tours. So
Is that it?
yeah, so I got to go to one of them. So had to put that up. I've been thinking about we probably posted a long time ago, but Tenhun did a deck of cards.
Let's set the stage really quickly for
Okay.
people that don't know who Tenhun is. Tenhun is
He's an artist.
he's an artist, but he has a really big YouTube following. Makes amazing videos. He does like murals, really cool like graffiti style art. But yeah, like just so people know who he is. I don't know that everybody knows who Tenhun is.
He did a deck of cards, and he did this. What is it, like an uncut sheet? So it's like a poster size. So I was thinking about putting that up, but again, it's just trying to figure out these big posters, because like we have the Mosh posters and just like all these big posters that it just becomes like poster city.
And we had people that like sent us art to add in here. We have art that we like won in raffles.
We have some of this really cool stuff.
Alan Gore sent us these like gorgeous Ahsoka prints that he did. And then I think like one of our big things we do when we go to cons is we like to buy art.
Yeah.
Like we love Artist Alley at any.
See, here's another one that I was thinking about hanging.
I like that one. Yeah, what you can't see is that we have just a ton of little things like tucked in the nooks, like just off camera.
It's just like magic tricks. It's like blam, blam. So
Andrew says rotate the art out each week or every few episodes.
see, I was thinking that. I was thinking if I had like a frame, or we had specific sized frames that we could just like load in something that fits in that frame.
Or even like almost like a clipboard,
Yeah.
right? Where we could just like pop it in really quickly. There's a slight oh, hey, Peter's in here. What's up, Peter? There's an interference. Almost like when you put your phone near some cables. There very likely could be. There are cables all over this room right now.
Yeah. Let me see.
You gonna investigate?
I'm gonna investigate. Hold on.
Okay, he's leaving. AP says we need to go to Festival of the Arts. It's called Farts. I watched a really funny TikTok today they called it, because it's International Food and Wine Festival, so they were calling it the International Festival of the Arts, and they're calling it iFart. You laughing over there? It was a travel agent Will. Let's see. Did that make it any better?
I tweaked it a little bit.
Hopefully that
Try to
worked.
turn down some of the gain.
Yeah. Oh, there's some amazing Star Wars art at Festival of the Arts. There are some artists that I will like specifically go to stalk and like see if I can get some of their art. And we just never go early enough.
That's the hard part. Is like there's such great stuff, and with Star Wars, there's typically sets, right? Or like you're trying to get a trilogy, so you'll find two of the three movies, or two or the three pieces or whatever. And so you're like, oh, I don't have all of them.
Okay, Meredith wants me to text her. Yeah, we need. Oh, farts artwork. Yes, please. I know.
SW props. What's going on?
Oh, the force is strong with us. Sometimes. Yeah, Danny of Art of Danny is there. So he's the one that on our regular podcast side, he's the one that did the Ahsoka art that we have. And I woke up at like 2 a.m. in the morning to grab that print because I had been such a fan of his for the longest time. And I really like that one. I had tried to buy one before and it was going on sale like noon, or it ended up being 2 because of the time difference or whatever. And I didn't click on it I didn't realize it was going to be such a hot commodity. And so I tried to buy it like 2 minutes after and it was sold out. And I was like, oh man. And so I didn't get that one. And then he released this design.
That was the last one, right?
No, that was the first one I tried to buy of his. And then he released this design shortly afterwards. And it was, instead of releasing it at noon, they released it at midnight, which ended up being 2 a.m. our time. So I made sure to wake up. I'm like, I'm getting this one. Oh man, you commissioned one of the Festival of the Arts artists. That's really cool.
Wow.
That's really, really cool. Fart work. Oh man, I'm never going to forget that. Oof. Yeah. So
that is commitment, Jacob.
That is commitment. I am super bummed because Mosh Eisley is happening in Orlando during Farts. I don't get to go, and Farts is like my favorite festival. I think it's mostly because of the name, but I love the festival. I love looking at all the art booths because to me, the festivals at Epcot, they're like very food driven, and I don't it's not my thing. I like being able to just pop in and be like, I could go for a snack and stop at a booth and get food. But there's already booths at Epcot where you can do that. So to just add more options, I'm like, it's okay. But going and seeing art, I'm like, oh, that's nice. It's something else to do.
It definitely is one of those cool things to do, is just to see that, especially when there's new stuff. You're kind of like, oh, do I need that? Do I need to get it? So.
We always do the, I am not going at all to Farts. I'm so upset. Yes, Sarah, I love Farts. I'm not going to be able to. So I think I've explained it. Yeah, I'm cut off after 3 drinks anyway. I prefer Farts. I am insane. And the way my schedule lined up, I'm going on the inaugural sailing of the newest and largest cruise ship in the world as of January 2024, which is the Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas. That sets sail on January 27th, and it is a 7-night cruise. That means I am getting on the cruise ship next Saturday, 1 week before Mosh Eisley, and I am getting off the cruise ship the morning of Mosh Eisley in Miami. And then I've got to get on a train to go from Miami to Orlando. Hopefully everything goes correctly. I was Googling, Google Maps, where is the port? Where is the train station? Where does it drop me off? What do I need to do? How early do I need to get there? Earlier today. And it should all be fine, but I should be getting there just a few hours before Mosh starts. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but it's fine. I'm already in Florida anyway, so just take a train. I get to take the Brightline train, which I'm actually pretty excited about, kind of. I've only ever been on the train once before, aside from the Hogwarts Express between the 2 Universal Studios parks. I don't know if you can count that. Can you count that as a train? And
I think technically it's a train. I mean,
the Buddy Dyer train.
That's a monorail, right?
That's a monorail. Which train?
Disney. Around.
Oh yeah, the Walt Disney Railroad. Yeah. I've been on that train, but yeah, the last time I was on a train, I got very nauseous. So.
Really?
Yeah. I was like a teen. I think it was before we met. But I don't even remember where we went. Never took the metro. We don't, they're like monorails, like what we have. So they're fine. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm probably just going to take like a real hard nap for a few hours and then wake up and be like, oh. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. I'm hoping I can take a nap because I got to get up early to get off of that cruise ship.
They just let you stay on and they take you back.
Yeah, right. But it'll be cool. I think Brightline like just opened in Orlando, so that'll be a new experience. And it was pretty cheap. And weirdly enough, there are no direct flights between Miami and Orlando on Southwest.
They're trying to,
at least on the day of Mosh Eisley. So I don't know if they're pushing the train travel or what. Because I was like, oh, I mean, it's a 3-hour train ride. I'm like, I could just take a flight. A flight's going to be like 45 minutes, right? Like, it's not going to be that long. Nope.
take the train.
Take the train. So we'll see. It will be an adventurous day. And then we go home the next day. So, like, I don't even think I'm going to get any park time in. Oh, well.
Jacob's going to Anime Con in March, meeting Power Rangers and the voice of Boo. Meeting a lot of people.
That'll be fun.
Cal, what's this I've heard about Space Mountain closing? What?
That's news to me.
I think we need some expertise to come in here and say something.
Somebody said Adventure Space Mountain in Tokyo is getting a refurb. Oh, okay. About to say, whoa, another mountain down? It seems unlikely they would close another like huge attraction like that
while it's still down.
Well, in Magic Kingdom, like while Splash Mountain's being rethemed.
I did see that.
It's getting demolished. Oh.
The Tiana ride.
Yeah. Bayou Adventure.
Yeah, it's gonna have the faces like from Tokyo Disney, like the
like the Beauty and the Beast ones.
So it's gonna be an actual like animatronic, not the projection.
Oh, I like that.
So it's gonna be good.
That's gonna be really good. How can you forget Tiana's Bayou Adventure? We have the biggest. What is that even called? It's like the little glasses cleaner cloth. But I got one at D23 last year, and it's like, it's bigger than a laptop. You could probably wrap your laptop in it. It's that big. Like, it is like a tea towel size. And when we were cleaning up, because we had just like, we'd put a bunch of like little bags of things that we had collected, like from Star Cruiser voyages or from, whatever, from conventions. And so we just had like little like nests of stuff. And so we had to go through everything and like clean it out.
I'm a fiend for those glasses cleaners because like I need one within arm's reach everywhere. And
somebody got a 20-pack in their stocking this year.
I put it up for safekeeping so the kids didn't play with it, and I forgot where I put it. So.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. It's being rebuilt using the Guardians. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Disneyland is going to be down. Haunted Mansion, Pirates, and Splash for much of this year. Why is Haunted Mansion going to be down? Are they doing like a big refurb? I thought they were just doing a normal, like flip back to normal Haunted Mansion.
You got me.
Ooh, that's a good point. Like, will the Space Mountain retheme be done in time for Celebration? I doubt it. If they're demolishing it.
Let me see. I gotta show some love over here on Insta. Princess Woodruff chiming in with you're a little bit delayed, so that's why we're not getting your answers right away. So
you're not delayed. We're delayed.
Yeah, we're delayed.
It's not you. You're not the problem. We're the problem.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on Insta over here. So.
Yes, it's a lot smaller. Our comments section over here, like literally, like the text is a little smaller, so we're having to like.
I think that our Insta.
But yes, thank you for saying.
Chat is humongous over here. So.
Thank you for saying that. That looks good. It has been a labor, like a big labor, and it was pretty funny. We when we did the Hot Ones challenge. We haven't talked about the Hot Ones challenge. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
When we had the birthday party and we did the Hot Ones challenge, we had, you know, people over, and I feel like anytime anybody comes over to our house, they're like, we want to go see the podcast studio. And we're like, there's nothing different about it, but sure, you can go see it. And it's like, it's pretty, to me, it's underwhelming because it's like, here's a table in a corner. But this time we actually had things to show, but it was so not at all done yet. And the day we had the birthday party, I think we had to record the podcast like 2 days later, and it was still like construction zone, paint barely dry, like nothing up on the walls. I don't think we had like our corner wall for the podcast. Like,
I want to chime in because I think that first episode, there was still so much construction that we were just like moving boxes of things like from one corner to the next and trying to clear things out. So it was like, you know, hurry, we gotta, just because I wanted to give myself enough time to record, and because that's another story, the Roadcaster.
oh yeah,
Making sure that worked, and I was able to edit in time to post, and because we were trying to get like our timings, you know, the timing right and everything. So it was a stressful thing.
I mean, like we've been doing this for 2 full years now, but you basically,
You know, we're keeping it fresh. We're keeping it fresh. So.
We had to like rebuild the podcast, like literally from the ground up, like physically rebuild everything, but then also digitally rebuild everything. Like I know Ash has already mentioned it when you did the split screen. Like you worked so hard on getting that lined up today, and I don't know if like one of us kicked the cameras or something.
The thing is like there's just, you know,
spirits at work.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's a lot of work behind the scenes. Like you spent a good chunk of time today, like getting the live stream set up, because this is an entirely new set that we haven't really used outside of like reels and stuff. And we've filmed some stuff for Patreon over here.
Yeah, I think the thing that and because it's like our first time kind of like moving from set to set, that's what I want to get used to, is like going from one to the next.
Yeah.
And what can stay here, what piece of the set can stay here, what has to move, and just trying to make it more mobile.
Yeah. It's getting there though. I think you've done a really good job. Like you should be so proud of yourself, because here's what you can't see. And one of the things that I think we want to do with the channel, let's talk about that. Let's get into like what we talked about in last week's episode, which is what we try to do on these live streams. We're going to keep that going, which is what we're trying to do different in 2024 and what we want to see different in this season of Princess and Scoundrel. Ooh, you just see like my big old socked foot on Instagram.
That's the other page.
Whoa. Peter says he prefers the corner shot. I know, it lined up too, and it was so beautiful. Let me sidebar for a second. It was so beautiful because you can see this piece of art like just off to my side. Each of us have one, and when he had it lined up, it looks so perfect that it looks like
it's one piece.
It's one piece. No pun intended, but that it's like the same piece of art. It looked really good. Are we part of Mythical? No. But yeah, so one of the things we want to do.
Ash, not yet.
Not yet. Let's discuss. Is we want to try to do different types of videos on the channel, and so I think we may go into like maybe do like a behind the scenes of the studio and like what it took to get it built. We were absolute garbage. We're the worst vloggers in the world, and that like we are not at all vloggers, because especially when it comes to like creating something like this, it's very hard to document it in the moment. Because like I'm covered in paint. The last thing I want to do is, and I had my dumb press-ons on, and I didn't want to get them like painted, so I'm wearing gloves to paint, which like I never do. And I was like, they were like navy nails, and I'm painting like the light gray walls. I'm like, I don't want it on my nails. So trying to like record footage of that, but it's also a construction zone. There's nowhere to put my phone down. Like, anyway, we're terrible at it. I think we have some behind the scenes clips, but we want to do a video where we talk about like the cable management, how everything's on wheels, how functional this space is now, and how we can use it for different purposes. And it won't be an episode. We're not going to do a Princess and Scoundrel podcast episode about it, because you can't podcast about like, look at all these things, because we are still, I mean, we're a video podcast, but we do put out the audio version. And so it needs to stand on its own.
Yeah.
So we may start doing more videos like that. I want to do some videos about like travel and travel tips, things that like we always pack or things that we always do. And they would just be these supplemental videos. So that's one of our goals for the year. Just
try new things. I think
why not?
That was kind of the idea when we did the sets, is having that flexibility to do other things. And not the thing we were like restricted before, but when I come into this space now, it's just kind of like, ooh, what can I do? Like, there's plenty of space to just kind of like,
do activities
and stuff. So I think the hard part is not the shooting part necessarily, but the editing part. That's the part where I want to get better at. So
yeah, it's tricky. I'm fine. Like, you can turn the camera on and I can sit here and talk about whatever. When it comes to editing, like when we're making reels and stuff like that too, I'm just like, ugh. Like, it takes like 5 times longer to edit than it does to actually like do the thing, to film the thing. It's like, but I already did the work of filming the thing. Now I have to edit it to like put it out. And that's kind of one of the things I've been liking about Patreon, is we are posting like behind the scenes videos, but it's just literally us holding our phone, recording something, and then like,
there's not that
we post it, but even then, I had a video I recorded last night of my Mosh costume in progress. And
thank you, Kitra.
Yeah, Kitra gets it. I don't do any of the editing, but it's daunting to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to
but
just
like that, and then I've thought about doing a little bit of a better mobile type of podcasting set, or like setup, just figuring that. And again, I think I kind of get stuck in the tech part of it, like just the technical part of it, of like, can it be possible? Like, how do I make that possible?
I think that's what
I kind of get more like, my motor running. But I think that's the crazy part, is like, you do see it as like, I can make it's a rig. It's a whole camera rig on wheels that's sitting in front of us. And it's got power to it. There's 3 cameras. There's a huge light. There's a massive TV. There's all of this stuff in there. And if I wanted to, I could get up and turn it to the podcast side. Yeah.
Like, just within like 10 seconds. That's incredible. And like, you came up with that. You engineered how to do that. And then even one step beyond that, today you were working on like, well, how do I get it to line up just right with these walls so that the cameras are in line with us, versus turning it to the podcast side, which has different measurements. Like, your brain works like that. Mine's like, I'm just going to like shift it a little bit.
No, Carrie, I think we are like to the point of, this is it. Because I have like the computer and editing set up and my 3D printers and stuff.
Which you can't see.
Yeah. So it's like, and then boxes of helmets. I have like all my boxes set up. So.
Yeah. So not only do we have, thankfully all the helmets are now on the wall, because before they were we used to have a huge sectional. I now call it the Franken couch, because we took out one of the middle sections and moved it to a different part of our house, and like, we just pretend it's a couch. But it's like one of those like couch beds, kind of.
Because it's just like massive.
It's just like a massive, deep couch now. But
pretty much.
You put all of the helmets on it, because that was the best place to store them. So while we were doing construction here, it was just like,
the couch was not
it was like a graveyard of helmets. And then you pulled all the boxes out from the attic, because you're like, I want to see the sizes of these boxes.
Yeah.
So now we've got boxes everywhere. But this room is so clean. You can see that there's carpet on the floor. Like, before, you wouldn't have known what type of flooring we had in this room.
No, it was definitely one of those like anxiety-inducing messes, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Carrie, that's the point, is like, it's on wheels, so we can have basically 3 sets. We can have this set with the live stream side, our usual podcast setup revamped podcast setup. And then we have this kind of middle area, but then also we can use it to like film content that's not going to go on YouTube or wherever.
Yeah.
Like we
it's
can
just a backdrop. So you'll see like the helmets, you know, whatever we decide to do.
Yeah.
It may come out soon. I got the Carson Teva helmet, and so I was like, okay, let me do an unboxing. And it was more of just to like see if it was possible.
Yeah.
And so now it's let me edit it because I filmed it type of thing. So I'm like weighing the pros and cons. Like, should I make that effort to actually finish it out or just like take it as a practice test?
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm working on my Mosh Eisley costume. I just started on my Mosh Eisley costume. I leave in.
Hey, I mean, you're knocking it out though.
I made some progress yesterday, and I'm very proud of that progress. But now I'm riding the high of the progress that I made because it looks so good that I'm probably not going to do anything for 3 days and then panic.
I don't know, TJ. It's definitely one of those awkward feeling type of thing.
Like I bought myself a present. Check it out. Although
Bad Batch, good to see you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for.
I have to make sure
hyping us out.
Like the YouTubes, you're over here.
Well, like
facing
TJ's
me.
over here on YouTube, and then her husband's over on Insta commenting. Like they're both commenting, but they're
love
on
all
different
the
apps.
love.
We appreciate it. Oof. Chad says, I would love to see a step-by-step of costume making. Me too. I would love to see a step-by-step of costume making. So I started filming it, and I've put something out there of like, here's my thoughts, here's what my costume is going to be. And I meant to post it on Patreon today, and I didn't. But I'm also trying to get snippets of content to be able to put together a reel and do all this stuff. I did this last time I made a costume, which was my Acmina costume for Life Day. I filmed things, me cutting out patterns, boring content of like me sitting there staring at the pattern, trying to understand it, trying to read it because I don't know how to read a pattern. And I never edited it.
Again, like you could get to that point of like, okay, I shot this stuff, and then you start kind of like thumbing through it. You're like, I don't know.
Well, I think,
and again, it may be in your head. You're like, I don't know. But just like, should I make that effort to edit it and even post it? But just like taking that time to edit it.
yeah. And I want to edit it. 'Cause I even did like
Edit it. That's a very like
edited it. Remember we used to edited it. I even took the time to do like those like transitions of like, here's me in my normal clothes, and then like a swipe or something, and then it's like, here's me as Acmina. And I didn't even edit it. I'm so mad at myself.
that's the one you got to do.
My goal is to get it edited and posted, but I also have the hot ones that I've almost completely edited. I have like a few like text things to put on it, and then it's ready to go. And yes, Ed edited it. And I got to get that. I need to get that one out. I need to get my Acmina one out because I was very proud of Acmina.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That one was easy. That was just like, hey man, you just got to sew 3 pieces of it was a potato sack for real. It was so easy. This one is not. This one's like that was a potato sack literally with like elastic sewn for the wrists and the neck, so you didn't even have to be precise about it. This one is like a very tailored, very crisp look. It terrifies me. I've got one side, it looks amazing. And I'm doing the behind the scenes content. I'm trying. But now I think it's just going to be like what the reel is probably going to be is like, how many times did I have to rip seams out?
Oh, I mean, that's like a given. Like if you don't rip a seam, then you probably didn't do it right. I feel like there's probably people that could do that.
Like, what's it like to be
that's
perfect?
That's like going to the restroom and standing up, no wiping. Like,
I was about to say, where are you going with this?
That doesn't happen. So,
yeah, here's the ridiculous thing.
I throw you off.
You threw me off. Here's the ridiculous thing. I was like, with stay stitching. If you don't know what stay stitching is, great. Me neither. apparently what it is like it's a stitch that you put in. You're not sewing anything together. You're literally sewing a single layer of fabric to just like reinforce that line for later. It's like a pre-work. You're studying for the test. You're just kind of going over the motions. I had to rip a seam out because I stay stitched the wrong thing. I was like, I got halfway through it and I was like, why is it curving? I was like, I didn't need to do this. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh man. Yeah, no, it's I've yet to have a project where I haven't had to rip a seam. And it's so just like
Rip a seam.
it's so like just like a punch in the gut because you're like, oh man, I was going so good, and then
So deflating.
Yeah.
And like that's the problem is like
and you just want to rip it apart. You're like
yeah.
so furious.
I've seen on like because I have to watch a lot of like sewing tutorials on YouTube because I don't know what I'm doing. Like I am awful at sewing. Like I get by, and like anytime anybody's like, "Oh, you made that," I'm like, "You don't understand the like." Let me back up again. I'm kind of like I don't even have ADHD, and I'm like all over the place right now. There is a YouTuber that we watch called Kamui Cosplay. Her name is Svetlana. She makes amazing cosplay. Kami cosplay? I think it's spelled Kamui, but it's Kami cosplay. Yeah. She is absolutely amazing. She makes these beautiful like foam costumes. She sews. She and her husband like 3D model like goals. But in every video that she makes of sewing a costume, she inserts her like laying on the floor like in the fetal position rocking and crying because something went wrong, and I'm like, that's what I'm missing is I don't have a place to lay on the floor in the fetal position and just
like clear out an area.
That's all I need.
The crying area.
We have our old rug under our sewing table right now, so I can't even like crawl under the table and just like roll around and cry. So I'm like, I'm limited because I already like, what was it? I think I had cut out fabric. And then I realized, oh, I needed lining, I needed interfacing, I needed buttons, I needed ribbon, I needed all these things. And all I had bought was like
the
one piece of the fabric. And I was so mad. I was like, I didn't want to leave the house today. I was already in the mood to work on this. Now I got to go on the weekend where there's people and go deal with it and like try to make decisions because like you're limited what's at the fabric store. Yeah. I can't be like, I want these buttons for this and they're going to be beautiful. I found the buttons.
I think there's like more planning. There's, you could find the stuff, but
I found oh my God. And even the buttons, I had a vision. I find them at the store. They're perfect. They don't have enough. I'm like, well, I can't wait till they get more in. So I'm gonna have to pivot. So I'm gonna have to buy something off of Amazon that's like enough. Yeah. And it's in like millimeters. I'm like, how many football fields is that? I don't know.
Oh man.
This is what goes on inside my head when I'm trying. So I'm like, I thought they were bigger than they were. I thought the buttons were going to be bigger. They come in, they're not as big. So I'm like, okay, I have to pivot and figure that out. And then I'm like, oh, if I had time, I could have commissioned you to make like custom buttons for me. It would have made the costume so much cooler. And then I'm like, and if I had time for that, I could have done all these other things.
Just need more time. That's what we need.
But you know what I do have on lock? Thanks to Drop It Like It's Hot TJ, or just TJ in YouTube, the makeup. She helped me after I had gone to the store and braved the crowds.
The people.
After I peopled on Sunday, she got on FaceTime with me and like helped me figure out how to do this, like in my mind, very elaborate makeup look. And she was like so kind about it. So thank you. Because I tried to do my makeup for Mosh in New York and I got mad and I took it off a couple times and reapplied it. And I was like, good enough. It's dark. It's going to be dark in there. Paul says I taught her everything she knows about makeup.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we've been busy the beginning of the year. You kind of mentioned it too, that we started a Patreon.
We did.
And so that's been interesting. That's just trying to figure out that in general.
It's nice because like I don't feel like we're very polished.
I like you said, I like the flexibility. Like it's one of those things that, because it is like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So we're just like hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
It's great. Like we were showing off the helmets beforehand and a little bit of the set and like you getting set up for that. And it's been fun. Like it's just, I don't know, it's something new. It's something fun to do.
yeah,
And like it's not like we're putting everything behind a paywall. It's like $5 a month, like one tier. I was like,
yeah,
we're not going to be able to honor like all these different tiers. And like, I think it's cool that people can do that and say like, well, we're going to do all these extra things. And we really sat down and this has been a decision that we've been thinking about doing for probably well over a year.
yeah.
And like, we had friends that were pushing us to do one.
Adam.
Adam from Thank the Maker. And they have a very successful Patreon. But he's like, just do it. And he's like, just do it and it'll be fine. And we're like, no, we really want to make sure we like take the time, make this right, and make it in the way that we want it to be done. And when we sat down and like looked at what it was that we thought we could deliver and like what we wanted the Patreon to be, we're like, let's just make it one tier. Let's just have fun with it. Ash is your first ever patron sub. Must be a pretty cool person. They are a very cool person.
Very cool.
Very cool person that gets mad at us when things don't line up.
AP, he is good.
Dano's good. Yeah, don't worry about Dano. He's all right. He's still giving me grief on the daily. Ooh, coffee went down the wrong hole. But yeah, so December was super, super busy with like getting the podcast set up and even the first part of this year. But now it's starting to feel like maybe we're in a rhythm. I feel like everybody got hit with the bad weather earlier this week.
Yeah.
And it's like, if these dang kids could just go to school for like an entire week, it would be great.
Yeah, that the cold weather down here in Texas has not been fun, so.
No. It is not. Yeah, Dano should be a Mosh. He is. He's fine. He's got stuff going on, so he's been just taking a break. I mean, I've been doing the same too. Like, I have not posted on Sarah J. Mac on Instagram in almost 2 months. I've done like some collab posts.
This was one of those things that I've been kind of like toying with the idea of it being an actual conversation because a lot of other sites or other pages have talked about it, but this year there's so many people, like it's like the new wave of YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there's like so and like like top of my head I'm thinking of film theory or game theory.
Yeah.
You know, Matt
Pat.
But there's like so many other people that are just like calling it and going on to different things, doing different things. And so it's kind of like, is it one of those things where that generation of YouTube is saying farewell for the next generation type of thing?
I think it's interesting because...
And again, this is where I've kind of like, you know, this may be like a Patreon thing where we talk like, could this be a conversation? Because like it's very, very interesting.
Maybe so. But like Matt Pat, we didn't see his initial video where he said he was done. Or he has like 10, like it was like 9 or 10 left. But it was one of the videos afterwards where he was like, my time with game theory is coming to an end on March 9th or something, March 10th. And we were like, wait, what? Excuse me? And so then we went back and we watched it, and it's hard to see like Matt Pat leaving YouTube because he's like almost always been YouTube for us.
Yeah. Well, again, that's the thing is like, it's one of those, like you've been watching a show for so long. So when it's to the end of it, you know, series finale, you're kind of like, these were my friends. Like,
and it just got so good. Because like Matt Pat was on, if you don't follow like game theory and everything, like he was really big into the lore of Five Nights at Freddy. He's the sole reason why we even care about Five Nights at Freddy. Because he would do such great videos about the lore of this game. Because, like, that is a game that does not interest me in the slightest. But hearing about the lore of it, and, like, anytime a new book or a game or whatever would come out, we would sit there and watch his, like, updated canon or, like, whatever his big theory was. And so the movie came out, in October, and he was in the movie.
Yeah.
And we were like, it was like,
Well, it was great too because like I saw clips of people in the theater, like then people were cheering for him in the movie. Like if it was, you know, when the 3 Spider-Men were,
yeah,
you know, in Far From Home, or the Avengers pop, you know, all that stuff. It was like that kind of excitement people were. So it was like that was.
I
Super
cried.
Cool.
Like I straight up cried when I saw him. Like it's just like so much pride for somebody that I've never met or interacted with in any way, but just to see somebody that has followed their dreams and their passions so much to a point that it has taken them to be in a movie about that thing.
Yeah.
In theaters was just like the secondhand pride for somebody was just like incredible.
Yeah.
And so for him just to leave YouTube now was just like, wow, like what a, you went out on top. Like good for you. You did it. Oh, Sunfield's on. Hey Sunfield, you're over on Instagram. Aren't you on a plane right now?
Good service up there?
You got really good service up there. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's
Bad Batch. We're going to see you in Florida.
yay. I cannot wait. I'm so excited about this cruise that I'm going on, but I'm also so bummed that I'm not going to be there for like any of the con or any of like the pre-hangs. So it's just like I have to get in like all of my love with all of my friends.
I'm excited because it's going to be like I was a bear in hibernation, and now I'm able to go out and, you know, go and, you know, see the wilderness again.
You're not going to know how to people
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't.
That's how
I'm just going to growl at everybody.
Hey, Pizzas, did you see the celebrity list for MegaCon? It's epic. It's like every celebrity is going to Mega. I'm like, I'm not going to get to
everybody's just,
go.
like, you know, waking up and they're like, I got to get out. I got to stretch my legs.
Yeah.
Let's go to Florida.
Yeah. I want to go to MegaCon. I'm very excited about this cruise. There's 20 decks on this cruise ship. That's floors, people. 20 floors
It looks massive.
of a cruise ship. Like, how does that not sink? I shouldn't think about that. I just realized I shouldn't think about that. It will. Oh, Paul. Yeah, Paul gets to go to MegaCon, but he'll be working the entire time. Executive Milk is up in here. Milk has been a friend of ours since you were streaming on, like, playing games on Twitch many years ago.
See, we could do something like that too. Figure out how to play games on here.
You
That'd be fun.
do you enjoy playing video games with me?
Yeah,
Long pause.
I do.
Yeah. We
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
we're good at playing Minecraft together. That's something we could play.
Yeah.
Fall Guys.
No, but remember we played It Takes Two.
Did you enjoy that?
It was fun.
There was a little pause there.
It's a lag. There's a lag, so that's why there's paused.
Yeah, sure. There's not a lag in this room,
No,
sir.
but I think that game they intentionally made it difficult for the mom character on purpose, because like every clip that I see, it's like the dad is just like already at the end waiting for the female character to like get to the next point.
Here's what I didn't. Do you really think it was like that, or do you think?
I honestly they made it a little bit more difficult, because then there's like that.
Or was it the
you have to be able
same
to communicate
skill?
in a way that, like, I have to be able to communicate to you and not say, "Here, give me the controller, let me do it."
Because you also had to be like hitting a button or doing something.
Yeah.
But do you also think that maybe it was the same skill level and just like, I don't know. I was Jackbox games. Like, you don't know Jack, right? Like, I loved that game back when you had to play it on like a floppy disk way back in the day. TJ, why am I Steven and Paul is Sarah? I enjoy playing games, like playing video games. I'm just like awful at it, like really bad at it.
You're really good at Mario Party.
That's not a consolation prize. Like anybody can be good at Mario Party. I still have a callus on my palm from doing the where you'd like spin the ball.
Oh yeah. Those
That's
are some
probably
fun
what that
mini
is
games.
right there.
Yeah.
That's probably a Mario Party scar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very good at games. I like playing them. I'm happy to play them. Thank you. My Disney 100 cup. I actually got this on the Disney Wish. I think they sell it at Disneyland. But I saw it when we were on the Wish, and I was like, I need this.
TJ, COD lobbies and the amount of I yell at Paul for accidentally shooting me.
TJ, just play with Steven. Although, Steven, you get really competitive when you play a game, your aim is to, like, be the best at it. Like, to see all of the things, explore if it's, like, a quest-driven game, you want to, like, see everything there is, get all the coins. Like, I get it. I'm in line with you on that. But, like, sometimes I don't even know, like, how to turn the camera and, like, walk at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Sarah prefers playing mind games. Not intentionally. The newest Mario Party for the Switch, the All-Stars, isn't nearly as good as the one they put out initially. It's not.
Thank you, Brooke.
But Brooke's here. Hello, thank you. It's not as good, but it has the retro mini games in it. You still don't like it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So the thing that I dislike is I grew up playing Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. No one in the house we have Mario Kart to play, but no one will play with me because I just beat them.
Yes.
And I don't even want to get Smash Brothers because I know no one's going to play with me. So
I'll play with you, but I'm just going to button mash the entire time. And then you're just going to keep, and I like, the thing is, like, I know that you're better at video games than me. I don't even get salty about losing at video games. Although, what was it we were playing? Oh, we played this, like, was it in Fortnite? There was, like, Guitar Hero in Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
I crushed at that.
Yeah. No, that was... Yeah.
But that's because I'm a piano nerd. And so I was just like, I'm just playing piano here. Like, so yeah, I guess that doesn't count as a video game. I was really good at Rock Band.
Yeah.
But that's because I was singing. Like, I can sing.
That was fun. I heard they were going to bring that back. Or they're going to try to bring it back.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I would love
and
that.
I think that's what the whole Fortnite thing was kind of like a little dabble in to see if people would start playing it again.
Was it successful?
I don't think so. I think Fortnite people were not like happy about it because they were like, I don't want your music game in my Fortnite.
It was so good. Like, we were obsessed with Rock Band. I don't think we've ever even like talked about how obsessed we were with that game, but like we would dedicate like 16-hour days to like being at the top of the leaderboard on certain songs. Yeah. And you bought, like, they had the drum set, right, that you could buy that came with it.
The little plastic one.
They had the plastic one, and then you bought, because you were the drummer, you bought like the nice one that like looks like an actual like.
It was like an electric drum set.
Yeah.
But the player was to an Xbox controller instead of like a MIDI player. So.
Yeah. We had, and we even like, well, it's like right there, right? It's like
Nate still plays his Beatles Rock Band.
I loved the Beatles one because you could harmonize on that one, and so we would just sit there on the couch and just like harmonize together. Spent an entire day trying to 100% Enter Sandman on expert drums.
Thomas, what about Star Wars Episode 1 Racer?
What is that? What is that?
Is that the
Tell me what that is. Tell me more. The lamps are swinging. The AC is
it's going.
It's right above it. I want to try it, but I can't stop playing Lego Fortnite. Lego Fortnite looked really cool. Oh, it's what Dano lobbies for weird stuff. Oh no, Dano, yeah. Don't listen to Dano.
Pod racer game.
I wonder if he's gonna dress up in his little pod racer helmet again this time. Oh, that's right. He wanted to like do that during canteen hour, didn't he? And like have a whole thing set up. Good luck.
Oh yeah, I hope he does.
Good luck. I hope you're successful in that. I think that'll be the nice thing too. This one, I'm hoping this one is like more for us, more chill vibes. This Mosh Eisley is more chill vibes, even though I'm like flying in, like screeching right into the venue as it starts. I think this is gonna be. I think it's gonna be more chill. It's gonna definitely be more chill than New York, because New York was like.
I think just New York has that immediate
stress
to it. So
it was intense in New York. Like we had no time. Like we barely got into the venue. Like before doors open, we had to get everything set up, and like it happened. It worked. It was great. Everything was fine. Like we are behind the scenes. We are a very good team. We work well together. And we know what we need to do.
I think that's like the big like takeaway is like in crunch time we were able to get stuff done.
Yeah.
So
Thomas says I have no outfits besides night with Zach. No idea what I'm gonna do otherwise. I'm gonna be in cruise clothes. No, oh man, I want my costume to work out so well. Like
I think it will.
This is the most.
Get it done.
It's the most thought I've put into a mosh costume, or like besides Betty, like any costume I think I've ever done. Post mosh after party at the Star Cruiser building. Oh, could you imagine? We go look for space cats.
Everybody gets banned.
Marco, I'll bring the bolt. Please don't bring the bolt cutters. Yeah, I'm super bummed. Like, I don't think I'm even going to step foot in a Disney park on this trip.
Really? Well, I'll have fun for you. So.
Thank you. Have fun for the both of us. Have my 3 drinks for me at Epcot.
I'll have my 3 drinks and your 3 drinks.
Thank you. Bonjour from Italy. I cannot believe we both made the same
mistake.
Same mistake. Like the exact same mistake. It must be ingrained in me because I love to say bonjour from Italy like all the time now. It was only 3. It's only ever 3. I was signing for Friday. Man, yeah, it's gonna. I'm excited for Mosh. I wish I was gonna be around to do the parks, but that's all right. That's all right. Because then a month later we're on the Wish Cruise.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean this year's now it's rolling. That's for sure. So.
It is like we didn't travel. It felt like a long time.
But again, I think it was a nice break. You know, a nice like recenter and just kind of like get through the cold.
Holidays.
And we hit January and we're going.
We are going.
So
yeah.
I think it's good. It's like it was a time to rest. So
yeah, it does. I love the holidays, and I love especially like the last 2 weeks of the year when nobody's really working. Like you can just like you go to sleep whenever, you wake up whenever. You don't know what day it is. You don't know like where you have nowhere to be. Like everything is just like.
But that was the last one, Thomas.
A blob. That's a trip, literally and figuratively. Yeah, Life Day was fun, but there comes a point in time of that like blobby time where you're like, I have to be a real person again. I have to have a schedule. I have to accomplish things. Yeah. And the way that like our kids' school schedules were, they were off like an extra week. Like theirs was like shifted. And so they went to school for like a partial week. They have not been to school like an entire week yet because then we had Martin Luther King Day and then the cold. And it's just like, I want to get back into it.
Yeah.
Like every call I have for work, they're like, Happy New Year. How was your break? And I'm like, or they're like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm all right.
It's like, it's already almost end of January. So
I know. I'm here. But we named the stream New Year.
Well, I mean, in the YouTube world, it is
still the New Year.
This is our first live of the year, so it's New Year.
It is. Would you do a Wish Cruise vlog or some sort of video form of recapping? I don't know. So that's the other thing is like we want to get into different types of videos and just kind of like not even like what can we do that is successful. It's like what is it that we can do that we enjoy doing?
Yeah.
Because that's the point of this. Like, yes, it would be great if if the podcast becomes successful, but it's like, so long as we're having fun with it, that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
And like, we had a great time, like making the set and like figuring things out and like finding a home for all your helmets. That was really nice.
And I think on the, like, just kind of on that, making it fun.
Yeah.
Like doing, I'm dreading the editing and
Dreading.
dreading. But I'm dreading that. But maybe once I get past that, get it done and just, because that's kind of always my pep talk for somebody that's like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this. Like, do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
And so I need to listen to my own advice and just do it. So.
Yeah, I have a plan. So the Icon of the Seas cruise, it's a 7-night cruise. It's it's a Saturday to a Saturday. Now, I am going to be.
I think I want you to do one so I could see, what it's all about.
But so
because there's like so much.
There are struggles to vlogging. One of them is children. Children instantly complicate things, and a lot of the trips that we take we have our children with us, and it's not easy to push a stroller, film content, make sure they're happy, make sure we're having a good time, and getting content at the same time. Like, it's very difficult when we do have the kids, and the times that we don't have the kids is typically like a Mosh Eisley. It's centered around a convention or something, and so trying to figure out how to make content, like vlog, within how we generally travel has been difficult. We always start out with the strongest of intentions. We have so many videos of us at the airport on the way to a trip where we're going to vlog. And then as soon as we get there, it falls apart.
Yeah. Like
as soon as we land at MCO and they're like, we want a pretzel. It's like, forget it. It's out the window now. Yeah. So I may try to do some vlogging on the cruise. I'm definitely going to do like short form content just because I know I can do that. But yeah, it would be really fun to document the Wish cruise because it's the first of its kind where there's this big group of the Star Cruiser community in a place that's not Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
And like doing fun things. And a lot of the people on this cruise have created games and competitions and just activities and events that are inspired by Star Cruiser, or just like to give love to the community.
I think the cool part is like having the community be able to kind of get back together.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I think that's the cool part is, there's people here, there's people like in Heroes, chat, like all these, everybody's still here and we still have love for Star Cruiser. But like that, the cruise is like a good way for us to just kind of like, hey, let's just hang out. Like we get to now, we could reminisce about Star Cruiser, but then we could, also go have fun and have a laugh and kind of like continue those relationships that we started, those friendships that we started.
Right.
So I think that's the cool part about it.
I love that people are doing all of these like extracurriculars for the cruise. But I also like the thing that most excites me about the cruise is that it's just like a 3-night like sublight lounge hang.
Yeah, it could be.
Which, as you all know, I was always there for the vibes. And so we don't have to do anything. We have no story that we need or missions that we have to do.
Yeah.
Like we can just go and hang out with each other. And that's so beautiful. But I also think it's very difficult for people to think like, what do we do?
Yeah, do we need to do something?
Do we need to do something? Because even on our cruise that we took, just our family of 4, we were like, is this it? But I think with more people, it'll be more enjoyable too, because we'll actually have people to talk to, not just each other.
Again, that's where I'm more excited, is just being able to like run into somebody like, oh, hey, what's going on? And just, all right, let's hang out here at the,
let's go do trivia or something. Yeah. Like it's going to be, and just so you know, if you are in here and you are on the cruise, home base will always be Hyperspace Lounge, like always. And I put that in, I sent out an email to everybody, to all my clients. And I was like, if you ever are looking for somebody, just go to the Hyperspace Lounge. Like you will find me. I will be there. I think it was Thomas. We lost our chat for a second. I think Thomas was saying Mosh Lando. He's asking for the beans on the next Mosh. Let's see what beans we could spill.
Are you gonna be the mic?
Am I going to be the Mike or the Dano now that Dano's not around to spill beans? We may be going places that we've been before. Who knows? Who knows? We may be also going places we've never been before, but to be determined on that one. We've got a lot of things up in the air. We've got one recurring from last year. We're repeating one from last year. We're probably adding.
You are spilling beans.
I'm going to spill beans right now.
So listen up, guys.
Listen up. We will be returning to one of the places we went in 2023. We will be going somewhere new, more than likely. And then there's a possibility that there is a fourth Mosh Eisley in 2024.
Wow.
4 in a year. Yeah, we've only done 2 each year.
Talking about Mosh merch?
Is there going to be merch for sale? If you're talking about Mosh merch, yes, there will be merch for sale. If you're talking about Star Cruiser, the Wish Cruise, not from us. No, I wasn't asking for the beans, just to know if we're getting beans by the end of Mosh Lando. Yeah, maybe. I'm hoping if we can get that other one locked in, I'm hoping that we can announce it. But fun fact, we always plan on announcing the next Mosh Eisley at the end of the night of a Mosh Eisley, and we have never, ever done it.
And maybe we shouldn't.
I think we should always intend to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've never announced it. We've always waited a few days and then announced it. Here comes Dano telling you to stop. He wouldn't. A Mosh in the Midwest? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting out of me. There wasn't enough Kahlua in this coffee.
That Mon Moshma has spoken, so.
I need to do a better Mon Moshma costume, I think, this year. Last year, I just kind of I'll just cut half of this dress off, slap it on another half. It was good. We did technically. Well, not technically. We did do New York.
Yeah, technically we did.
Technically. Mile High Mosh. You can do a Mosh at sea.
Oh, Mosh in Hawaii.
Oh, God. That would be so great. Why have I been thinking about Hawaii lately? You know why? Because I was watching Peter and Kitra's video.
Oh, yeah, they've been.
Oh, my gosh. Like, Peter and Kitra, I don't know if you're still in here. We love you dearly. But we're dieting. And
there's so much good food.
Oh, there's so much good food. And like your shaved ice, when y'all were like, it's not even, it's just like cream. I'm like, oh my God. Steve and I are like, let's go eat a dark chocolate skinny dipped peanut butter cup. Mosh in Hawaii would be great. I think a Mosh cruise would be a really fun thing to do too. I just don't know how we do that. I don't know
how to
the logistics of it. Yeah. Like, let's get through this group cruise that we're about to embark on together. Nick was like, next one. Yeah. That's the other thing is like anytime once we've locked in the next one, we're all terrible about keeping the secret. And so it's like the worst kept secret.
Yeah.
So just know.
So you want it to be the one this time though?
Yeah. I'm always the boring one that's like, no, don't say anything. But just maybe we'll see you somewhere in the summer.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But I think the cool thing is we are able to start, or it keeps, there's still like momentum behind it.
Behind Mosh?
Behind Mosh. I think that's the super cool thing is like the fact that we're like, hey, we might have another one. We're gonna have another one. So I think that's one of the cool things, like having this idea that just kind of came together, and it's become such a fun thing for people. Like, hey, let's go over here, go over here. It
is wild to me that Mosh Eisley is a actual business. Like you said, it was just a very like, hey, we should just do a meetup at a bar. And now we have weekly meetings. We have project plans and lawyers and accountants and all these like boring business things to throw emo parties. Like it's so silly to me that like
I want like a picture of just like just picture this. Everybody close your eyes and picture this.
Okay.
Like the bangs like over your eye.
Yeah.
The dark eyeshadow. In the button up tie with the black tie.
yeah.
But just like add a PowerPoint or like a poster board of like the line graph of it going up. But it's written with like a marker, so it's like that real.
I think Adam's off today. Anyway, don't tell Adam I told you this. We were meeting with our lawyers last month, and we're on like a Zoom call or something, and some of the guys like they will meet like with their iPads, and the iPad has the like tracking thing where it'll like move the camera to whatever it's focusing on. And Adam was trying to do something in the room that he's in, and he had to like stand up on the chair. So he's like doing one of those. Yeah, he's like standing up on the chair to like reach something, and it just like zooms in right on his butt. And we're like having a very serious conversation about like a decision that we had to make, and it just all of a sudden just zooms in on his butt, and the lawyer's still talking, and all of us are just like. It was so good. I grabbed a screenshot of it because I was like, I can't, like, this perfectly sums up what it's like to the business side of Mosh Eisley. And like the first time that we ever
the Mosh TPS cover sheets.
The first time ever we started working with this accountant, and it was like a get to know you call, and they're like, this is an accountant. They're like, so what is it that what businesses do you run? And so I'm explaining like Princess and Scoundrel, like the travel agent stuff, all that stuff. And then I get to Mosh Eisley, and I'm like, how do I explain this? But he says that we're definitely the most fun clients that he has. Yeah. So take that for what it's worth. He probably tells that to all of his clients. But yeah, it's we're starting the year off strong. We've got Mosh Eisley just 2 weeks away. I've got my cruise.
Oh, hold on. I got to pause because if Ramey's here.
Oh, Ramey. Can you see it? It's in the middle.
Shout out.
Thank you so much for those files. They're amazing. Falcon's here too. Hello, hello. Need a Baby Youngest fix. Baby Youngest loves space butts. I miss Baby Youngest. We were actually talking about Youngest. Dano and I were talking about Youngest the other day. Who knows? Maybe Youngest appears at Mosh. Who knows? I would recommend bringing a little Youngest hat. If anybody has a Youngest hat, maybe we'll find a Grogu. Who knows?
That's funny.
Thank you, Falcon. I'm very proud of this setup. Like, I would live up here if I could. I guess I could. It is my house.
Pretty much do.
You pretty much do, yeah. But it's so much nicer compared to our living room. It's nice when you build like a fresh space too, because
I think that's the thing. It's like it's just a new space, so you're kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So,
but yeah, it's been nice. And then I don't even think we talked about the artwork on the walls. It is their landscape pictures from Batu. And we never talk about it. It's just something that I put out there, and I think I posted about it like a couple of times. Thank you, Ramey. Ramey says he's out somewhere noisy, but wanted to stop in and say thank you. Thank you for the lights, for the files. But we have an Etsy shop where we have these prints for like digitally for sale. Yeah. We have them blown up really big in our, what used to be our dining room, is now our sewing room, our cosplay room. Yeah, we have an Etsy page. Like, we never talk about it. They're like, I don't even know. I think they're like $5 a print or something, like $4 a print. Like, they're crazy cheap, but they're really pretty, and it's a really nice, like, subtle way to have like Star Wars and Galaxy's Edge stuff in here without it screaming Star Wars. So we actually had these already framed and printed. They were in our living room for a while, and then we put them up, and we like literally pulled every frame that we own and every piece of art that we own.
Just to like see which one works.
Yeah. We're like, let's just go for it. What's the address for the Etsy shop? I think it's Princess Scoundrel. I'll find it. I'll put it in stories.
It's one of those, like, it really would be nice if you were able to get all of them.
Like Princess Anne Scoundrel.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it.
Yeah, no.
I was so upset. I think it's Princess Scoundrel. Ooh, they had the Loth Cat Cuddlies at Disney Springs. Those have been have you seen those?
Yeah.
They're like a hot commodity.
Mm-hmm.
8 p.m. debating whether to have the Vader floaty make another return appearance at Mosh Eisley. I think the Vader floaty is becoming like synonymous with you. Kind of like Zach the Maker is Knights of Chem. Like the Vader floaty is just so good.
Yeah.
I was looking back at pictures from the last Mosh. I was doing boring adult stuff and like cleaning up like all of the pictures of like all of our pictures where it's like I was filming a reel and all of my takes that I didn't end up using, or our daughter got one of our phones and she's taken pictures of like her stuffed animal like 50 times. And so I'm trying to clean it up, and I got back to Mosh Eisley and there was 2 women that had dressed up as like Narkina prisoners that had like survived, and they had like makeup running down their face and like their hair looked like it was wet, and it was like, I was like, man, that was people bring such good costumes to Mosh Eisley. Like, I'm so excited to see everybody dressed up.
That one trooper.
Oh my gosh. Is it like First Coast Fett, I think is his name?
Oh man, I'm super excited to see that one.
Yeah.
That one's gonna be like
that helmet is just like,
and then it lights up, so it's definitely gonna be like.
so if you didn't see it, it's kind of like a, not really graffiti style. It's kind of like a graffiti style.
So it's a trooper helmet, but it's like.
Is it trooper or is it Fett?
No, it's a trooper.
Is it
I'm pretty sure.
No, it's a trooper. You're right.
Yeah. But because he has, I think, a TK, but he took like borrowed pieces from it. And but yeah,
he had like
man,
a
dude,
white.
so rad. Like,
he had a white punk vest that he made a bunch of patches for. He painted the helmet like graffiti style, but then he added kind of like a Yondu, like from Guardians of the Galaxy mohawk on it, and it's blue and lights up.
Changes different colors.
What if it's like sound activated? So it's like.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be neat? So good. Like, oh my God, people are so creative. And then I reposted because it just popped up on my like my Discover page of this Mando costume, and it's a woman, but the whole thing has LEDs in it.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
But that's not a Mosh one.
That's
right?
not a Mosh one. I just saw it and I was like,
that was like a con one.
So good though. I was like, oh my God, please come. Are you going to MegaCon? Please come to Mosh. I need to see this in person. Like, I'm blown away by the creativity that people have for this. And it's like, I love it because I love a cosplay that is a mashup of 2 things. Yeah. Like my Betty Bantha, the one that I'm working on for this one, like my mom Moshma. Like, I love it. I love a crossover cosplay. And to see other people like do that and like really get into it is just like, oh, it's so good. Oh yeah, Nate, he did have a Roosevelt shirt. I forgot about that. He had the trooper, like the rainbow troopers. Yeah. So good. I can't wait. Oh, Falcon's not going to make it to Mosh, but you get to go to MegaCon. That's going to be fun. I've heard MegaCon is just like massive. Yeah. Like massive.
I might try to make it out there. I don't know.
It'd be fun. It'd be like the only other time we've been there was.
Oh, the con?
The convention center was a Celebration. Yeah. Back in the day. But yeah, it's going to be great. I think we're getting close to time, huh? Yeah. We're right on time. Look at that. Efficient. Yeah. Not efficient.
Nah, we had a little slight delay.
That was a long time ago. I don't even recall that happening. It felt like I think it was the last time we went live too. We're like, we have
we were trying to do the honestly, I think it's the Instagram, like the double feed is where it kind of like, it doesn't like that. It wants to like take, priority of the streaming software. Oh. So I think that's what happened.
I would say yes. If there's lots of peopling, I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty big. If it's the same convention center as Celebration.
Paul went to MegaCon last year. Remember, he was saying it was like massive. Like there was just a ton of people there. So take that for what it's worth. It's a convention. Like there's just, depending on where you are, if you're in the popular areas, like it's going to be busy. Heavy breathing. But I think that's a good place to wrap it up. We did it.
Yeah.
We did our first live stream in our new set. I'm so excited.
Everybody, let's get a round of applause. We made the first live. I think I give it us a minus.
Can you stop grading us?
Oh, sorry. We did okay. We did good.
I did really well in school, and I get triggered by being graded now.
But thank you everybody for showing up, hanging out, remembering us after taking a month off.
Yeah,
So-
thank you for remembering us.
We love you guys. We will see you
Next week,
next week.
maybe at Mosh.
Maybe a Mosh.
Bye.